Hey guys, so sorry. I guess I'm a few days late. I didn't even realize that it was time to do another one, and that's on me. I got a new planner and it messed everything up for me. Anyway, I chose the option, I think it's option 3, where it's like, how do you connect with people? Like, social media is a double-edged sword, blah, blah, blah. So I prefer to meet people in person no matter what anyway. I don't really judge people off of their social media, but I know that a lot of people do, so obviously I'm not going to put anything on there that I don't want other people to judge me or see me as. When I'm, say, at court or in a family team meeting or we're in the office or anything like that, I have my supervisor and pretty much all of the instructors, any of the workers there at the office, they will introduce me as, hey, this is Rayleigh, she's our child welfare intern. Sometimes if I see someone, like if we're at court and my supervisor's talking to someone, I'm like, oh, hey, Tiffany, who is that? Like, I want to put a name to a face and, like where they work and everything. And she's like, oh, that's so-and-so from such and such. And then as soon as we have a second, she's like, hey, I just wanted you to meet our intern, Rayleigh, blah, blah, blah. And if I get the chance to talk to them before or after I'm introduced, after Tiffany has told me who, or even if someone hasn't told me who they are, then I'll introduce myself and I'll say, hey, my name is Rayleigh Brum. Or, hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm Rayleigh Brum. I'm the child welfare intern under Tiffany Lakin for McLean and Garvin counties. That way they know who I am, what department I'm under, who my supervisor is, and what counties I'm working in. That way they know who to go to give good reports to, bad reports. There's never any bad reports, but you never know. Someone may have something to say. Anyway, but it just like tells them, like, and maybe they didn't realize, oh, hey, I didn't know Tiffany went to McLean again. I thought she was in Oklahoma County, blah, blah, blah. First impressions are everything, and the more information that you can disclose professionally about yourself, maybe the easier it is for them to remember you. I like to always make note, whether it's on my phone or on a sticky note or in a notepad or anything like that, of who I met that day. So I'll write down the date, who it is, who I was with, and who they work for, or the case that they're like, where I would see them at, like what case I would see them involved with. That way, if I see them at the office, at court, or on a family teams meeting, or if I see one of their notes in the system, I know who it is and what role they play with the case. So that can look anywhere like Jane Doe from CASA. I seen them at court with Tiffany at this day in this county. They are assigned to or associated with this case. Or, I saw Jane Doe from Youth Villages in the office, and she's associated with this case. That way I know who it is. I have a name. I'll probably have their contact number. I'll figure it out somehow. That way I have it if I ever need to contact them. Your first impression is always everything. And you just make it a good one. If you fail to introduce yourself, you chance your colleagues or clients believing that if you don't introduce yourself and you're at on a family teams meeting or you're in court or anything to the such, for my profession, like I'm in child welfare, I've already made the decision that I'm going to work with them whenever we graduate, and so now I'm like building up my connections even more so. If I fail to introduce myself, or if one of my colleagues fails to let them know in the meeting that who I am and why I am relevant to the case, there's a chance that the colleagues that don't know me or the clients of the case that don't know me, have not met me before, they're going to think that a complete irrelevant stranger is sitting in during a private meeting about their case. And that could steer them the wrong way. They may not want to talk. They may not trust their workers anymore. That's why we always make sure that it is disclosed who I am and how I am relevant to the case, and that they know I'm not just some stranger. I do know the laws and policy. Like, I'm not going to go off and talk about it. So that's another big reason why you need to make sure that you are telling them. That can be kind of like a con. If you fail to tell them, that's a con. You're not, because there's pros and cons. So your pros are that people know who you are, they put a name to a face, and they're able to associate you with a service or with a department. They're gonna know who you are. A con would be that if I'm not disclosing who I am, or if I'm not disclosed who I am, then they may not be open and honest. They may feel threatened that someone new that's irrelevant to the case is sitting in on a meeting and has something to say about it. This basically just says everything I just said, that if we're on a Teams meeting for a family team meeting, our family team's like advocate will introduce everyone that's on there, especially if a parent is showing up via phone and not by video. She'll be like, oh, just so you know, this is who's on here, and she'll list off everyone, and they'll be like, who is that last one? Or, if we have a couple new girls, so like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But it's just like, you always have to make sure that you're introduced, and if you want to make those connections, you have to introduce yourself and present yourself in a professional manner. And let me just double check really fast that I'm not missing anything. What kind of skills do you see as important to start developing now while you're in school that will help you be good in networking in your career? Always carrying around your business cards, because like my first day at Garvin County Court, there was a new DA. She's like shadowing the DA that's leaving, and so she gave us her card, but my instructor that day only had one card left, so she couldn't give it to her. So she just wrote down her number. Well, I find it, like, I have cards sitting around from some of the DHS workers that I've come encountered with, that I have in my bag and everywhere else. I keep everyone's contacts. It's good to have that in case you need it. It's good for your resources. I always pick up a resource log. I worked on a resource log. I want to email that out to everybody. This is going to be 10 minutes long. I'm so sorry. I made a big resource log. It's good to start developing skills like that and collect the resources that you're going to frequently. Like, we went to the Mary Abbott House, and so I made sure that I picked up the cards to all of the advocates there and the interviewers for forensic interviews, and I picked up their brochure for all of their resources and just everything like that. Like, I do that every place we go because I need to make this a habit. That way I know the resources if I don't have it in my resource log, which I pick up that stuff, I add it to the resource log. It's in OneDrive. Everybody that I have emailed it to in my region has access to that, and we can all add to it. Yeah, so I think just being professional and always have a smile on your face and introducing yourself in a professional manner, making sure that if you have business cards, make sure you give them to 99% of the people you come into contact with, especially if it's like a CASA worker or a Youth Villages worker. For any of the resources that I will utilize on a daily basis through cases, I want them to have my name and number and my email address so they know how to contact me if they need anything. And I really think that's it. So there's my 10-minute long video. I'm so sorry. But yeah, definitely work your connections, build your connections, and always make a great first impression.